far have we really come? Ida B. Wells-Barnett was neither fully accepted nor recognized during her lifetime, and until recently was generally neglected within historiography of African American social and political thought. Catch that. She was generally neglected within the history of African American social and political thought. And that's just until recently. I would say about the year 2000. Within African American circles, Wells-Barnett's predilection of positions that were often unpopular and her outspokenness fostered an image of her as being unpredictable and therefore uncontrollable. Interesting. Because of her position, and because her positions were unpopular amongst the black figureheads of her day, her outspokenness fostered her in an image of being unpredictable and therefore uncontrollable. How far have we really come? I mean, as I read this, I think of my own husband, Dr. Fleming, who is rejected for the same reasons. He's considered unpredictable and therefore uncontrollable. For Wells-Barnett, those who failed to take a stand against lynching or who remained silent and looked away were as culpable as those committing the acts. Is that not what we have been saying in a way that feels unpopular, at least my husband for the most part, is that if we turn away from what we are doing in the streets of Black America, if we turn away from that while wanting what we call justice for what Zimmerman did to our son Trayvon, then we are just as culpable as Zimmerman is of his murder of our son Trayvon, because we don't mind seeing our sons murdered by our own hands daily. In sustaining this recursive relationship between her intellectual and political work, Wells-Barnett embraced what were then seen as two contradictory stands within black political thought. Unlike the much touted debates between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois on the desirability of separation versus integration as the solution to social problems confronting African Americans, Wells-Barnett took a more pragmatic approach. She aimed to address the entrenched poverty, political disenfranchisement, substandard housing, underfunded schools, poor health, and other social problems that confronted a people who were, like Wells-Barnett, one generation away from slavery, recognizing that major social problems require broad-based social action, thus so on. But what I wanted to share here was that even in her day, the debate between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois on the desirability of separation versus integration as the solution to social problems confronting African Americans, she had to find her space and her place within that debate. How far have we really come? Is that not the same debate we have amongst ourselves today? There are many of us who look at it plainly, and we say the more that we have attempted to integrate into this society, the more debased, the more animalistic, the more bestial, the more poverty-stricken, the more immoral we have become. us who plainly examine the historical facts and recognize that we had a much better standing when we were forced to be segregated. Truly, it was not by a choice, because we are a people of harmony. We are a people of diversity. Scientifically, we recognize that we gave birth to all cultures, to all ethnicities, to all colors. But shouldn't we mature to a level where, since we've decided and tried integration, that we should make the decision to try on our own separation? Do we have to have some enemy who continues to show us that he doesn't like us in his system of thinking, to continue to force ourselves to be like a battered wife with a husband who beats the mess out of us, and we still want to integrate? Can we try separation? I mean, can we just try it? Are we so cowardly that we won't even try it as a decision that we make? A bit of historical reflection and a bit of hard medicine for us to take in, for us to consider, for us to think about. And let us be real with ourselves. For once in our lives, let us be real with ourselves.